And it's funny because I remember when I interviewed Fred the Hammer Williamson, and I had you come in the middle of the interview, and we were talking about different, famous, accomplished black actors, and he was talking about Samuel Jackson. He was like, "Yeah, Samuel Jackson, his movies don't make any money." And I remember seeing Michael's face. He was like, "Oh, I know I'm around my elder here, so I can't really say anything, but I am not co-signing this right here." And then we looked it up, and he was, I think, like the number one or number two.
No, he's the number one.
Biggest grossing actor who's alive.
Yeah.
Well, maybe even all time at this point.
Samuel Jackson ain't the greatest fucking actor out there, but he's making gazillion dollars. Because when they think of 5 roles, they think of Samuel Jackson, Denzel Washington, blah, blah, blah. Maybe 3 or 4 guys, right? But the black audiences in the ghetto don't really give a shit about these guys. Let me tell you. They don't give a shit about Samuel Jackson. They don't give a shit about Denzel. They like guys like him, guys like me, but we ain't getting 20 million a picture or 10 million a picture. We got to fight and scrap and dig our own shit. We got to make ourselves viable by ourselves. They get created. But if a studio brings them in, they just automatically, this is a Samuel Jackson movie, right? And how many fucking movies has Samuel Jackson made that made money? I mean, the money that he makes and the money that it costs to make a film, they don't make even, man. They don't make any fucking money. I'm gonna tell you now, those movies don't do shit. Because the budgets are too big, and Samuel Jackson ain't that big of a draw. But to white Hollywood, that's all they know. Denzel Washington, Samuel Jackson, and maybe 2 other guys. I can't even remember who they are.
Yeah. I mean,
Freaking love
so many
Sam
Marvel
Jackson.
movies and Star Wars movies.
He's in so many franchises.
Yeah,
Like,
he's an action star also,
and he
if you
does
think
not
about it.
stop. And it's funny.
He's like the most working
That kind of
actor.
reminds me when years ago when I ran into, I was in what's it? I forget the name of the restaurant, but I was talking to Jim Kelly. This is, of course, some years earlier. And we got in this conversation, and Jim Kelly said to me, "Man, they will never have a black superhero." And I'm like, what do I tell him? Because I just done Spawn,
right.
and it hadn't come out yet. But I'm like, do I tell him that you happen to be talking to the guy who played the first black superhero, or shut the hell up, respect your elders, and don't one-up this man. You have too much respect for him.
Yeah.
But it was a very similar situation where it's like, let me not say anything. Let me not be right now because it's not that damn important.
Yeah, I mean, it's wild. I just looked it up. Samuel Jackson is 75 years old, and he's still actively working all the time.
He doesn't even look 75.
No, he looks like 55.
Yeah.
But he's doing like the Shield show on, Disney Plus. I mean, if they do another Marvel movie, they'll probably throw him in.
He's in everything.
Yeah,
he's just doing everything.
Capital One commercials.
Man. You see how much of a good time this man is having.
Yeah.
That's why he looks as young as he is.
It just seems in Hollywood, if you have the ability to keep working, like if you're not like a Bruce Willis that ends up, going through dementia or whatever, if you're still lucid and you can work, I feel like no one really retires. You think that's true?
If you enjoy yourself on that level, man.
And people are still asking you to do stuff.
I think the alchemy of it with Sam Jackson is that he remains very rooted. He's just real. Like, I think if I called him right now, he'd answer. That's the kind of guy he is. And and I'm like, you still have this number? Yeah, man, I ain't changing this number. Too much money connected to this number. That's what he says. Yeah, and it's like, that's the biggest movie star in the world. Like, you know what I mean? But he's that's what I'm always talking about, man. When I'm talking about this stuff, and I feel sorry for the people with the big ass egos. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, you got some. We all should be like trying to be like a Sam Jackson, who ain't taking himself so damn serious, and doesn't have to shout their accolades from the rooftop. You know what I mean? Like, but the people who have a fraction of his talent want to act like they the baddest shit since sliced bread, right?
Oh, yeah.
Come on now. it's like that's and me. I'm never going to look at myself like that. You know, like some kind of like I'm above learning or whatever. But I expect people to understand that humbling yourself and you know, like in learning instead of. I mean, you got two ears for a reason, you know, so you can listen. You got one mouth, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's about learning. Shut the hell up. You don't know everything. Be humble. And if somebody presents something in opposition, listen to their ass. You can only gain by opening your damn brain up a little bit. So that's kind of like, you know, what platforms like this is about. And I hope people, I mean, they have the opportunity to learn, man, but some people are going to wave the dumbass flag, and that's on them.
Yeah, I mean, being in entertainment, there is a lot of passion behind it. Mm-hmm. You know, for example, I just watched the documentary about Hans Zimmer, the composer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I didn't realize he did Batman, The Dark Knight.
Oh man,
you were in.
Yeah.
And they started playing like the Joker themes, and I'm like, oh, this is who did it? Like.
Shoot, Hans Zimmer's been like knocking them out the park for
what does he have?
Years,
like 40
decades.
40 Oscars or something like that.
Yeah. Like, look how many movies
even the
you
new
see
Dune
his
movie.
name on.
I don't know if you saw Dune 2, but it's spectacular. It's a classic. It's that good. Hans did all the music.
Yeah.
And it's just interesting when you see these guys who are older, and women as well, who are older but are still functioning at the highest level. Like they're outdoing themselves in their 60s and 70s and continuing to get awards and continuing to push the envelope. And I think that's why so many people really want to be in Hollywood or want to be in music or whatever else, because they know that they're not just going towards a retirement. Okay, I just got to be here until I'm 65 and then I could retire and then I'm going to die a couple of years later because I'm bored. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's a real purpose and a real drive.
Yeah.
It's amazing to see it.
For those people, it's not about the money to these people.
Oh, yeah.
It is not about the money. You know, it's not about the money for me, too. It's about really the experience and the joy of it. You know, it's like you're really blessed if you do something and it's out of your love for it. You know, it's like like they say, you never really work a day in your life if you're really enjoying what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a real blessing. That's a real blessing, and you know I'm sad for people who get into this business because they want power or money or attention. Yeah. You know, and those people never never find it. They never find balance and peace because they're doing it for the wrong reasons.
When I was watching the Hans Zimmer documentary, they were just talking about all the people he worked with, and Steve McQueen was there, and he did 12 Years a Slave. He was talking about how Hans Zimmer called him up one day and was like, "Hey, I heard you're doing a movie. I want to do the music." And he's like, we can't afford you. Like, why are you calling me? This is a small movie. Like, you're Hans Zimmer. Like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I just want to do it. Whatever.
I love that.
Whatever.
I love
He did all the music to 12 Years a Slave, and 12 Years a Slave swept, won a bunch of Oscars and, considered one of the best films of the year. And it's like, it's so great to see somebody who's they're just about the art of it.
Yeah. Like,
it's not about the money.
Like a gentleman that wants to, be part of the soundtrack for this movie.
There you go. Hit him up.
Yeah, like there's, there's, we played one of the tracks for this musician by the name of Steve Lynn Morris or Stevie Wonder, who says, "Man, I want to be on this track." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "No, it's about helping. It's about being a part of something." And I'm like, "Wow," And so it's I love that. And when you have something like people like that uniting, and these are the things that can turn things around to where it is its own reward working together and being a part of something that these movies, they outlive you, man. And I feel like we get a chance to do this. It's like we ran away from home and joined the circus and made a living at it. How cool is
misfits.
that? Yeah.
Well, Michael Jai White and Gillian White, it's a pleasure to finally sit down with the both of you. I've been around you guys for a while, and I can tell you that this chemistry that you see on screen right now, this is exactly how you guys are in real life. Exactly. And
Thank you.
I've always admired and respected your relationship.
Thank
And you know, how people say relationship goals, I feel that these are, you know, we're seeing relationship goals.
Oh,
right?
thank
Thanks,
you.
thanks.
We appreciate that.
And yeah, we look forward to sharing our info with other people, and and encourage them to follow our podcast called Love Strong.
Love Strong. May 13th.
LUV Strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how we're going to end it. Until
All right.
next time.
Cool.
Peace.
All right. Cool.